Yeah.
Are you all able to see my screen?
Yes, yes, I'm able to see.
Okay, and also I'm perfectly audible.
Yes, yes, audible.
Okay, great. So, namaste everyone and good evening. I am Manija, and first of all, I just want to thank Dr. Nutan for designing this beautiful course and also, delivering the content so well. And I really think right now, whatever was required being a beginner, I think I have got it all. And the third thing I really want to thank you is for this particular topic, because this topic is so interesting. I have really less time, but because this particular course was my self upgrade, I had to do it. But I tried best in last couple of days to explore on this topic. I know it's a very wide concept, but I have tried best to give my little here. Okay, so just want to tell you all that my topic is Garbhakar Bhava and its importance. Okay, so this in the picture is my sister and my Jijaji. Um, so the thing is that I never got pregnant in my life, and maybe it's going to come soon. Dr. Nutan, you have totally convinced me, but I think I'm convinced for the step 2 directly. The step 1 needs to be done first. So I think I'll make my mind for marriage first, and then maybe get there. Okay, so what I have used my sister's picture here because when it's about pregnancy, when it's about baby, I have lived very, very closely with my sister from the day she actually took the home test to the day when my nephew actually came into this world. So I have lived with her very closely. I've observed her very closely, though I didn't know much about pregnancy and everything, but I have actually experienced it through her. Okay, so I just thought I'll use some of her pictures and my nephew's picture. By the end of this presentation, you all are going to conclude by saying that I'm obsessed with my nephew, which I actually am. Okay. Okay, moving ahead. Okay, yeah. So here is something that what do I understand by Garbhakar Bhav? I just want to tell you that what is my understanding from this particular term. Everybody here, I'm sure, is very familiar with the term fertilization and implantation by now, but let me just take you through that quickly. The fertilization is when the ovum and the sperm they meet into the fallopian tube. So that particular process is called as fertilization, and through the fallopian tube, they travel to the uterus. Once they travel, reach the uterus, and they settle there. So that particular thing is called as implantation. Okay, so the settlement of the ovum and the sperm into the uterus. So now the implantation is done. So what comes after that? So after that, the concept called Garbhakar Bhava, which basically are the fetal constructive factors, which are the ones which are responsible for the entire construction and the transformation of the baby inside the womb. Okay, so I have used this picture here, which is of pottery, because I really find that it's very relatable. When it's about pottery, all you need is the ingredients. And what happens is everything is in your hands and your mind. It's you who's going to actually construct it. So I find these two things so relatable, and that's why I thought I'll just, put this picture. Okay, so I'm going to move ahead. Okay, so when any of the lady or a woman plans to get pregnant, so I think the one of the most important aim or the objective of that lady is that she wants this pregnancy to be very healthy, and out of this healthy pregnancy she wants a very healthy baby out, right? But how do we achieve it? So in order to achieve this particular healthy pregnancy and baby, so the Ayurveda acharyas, they have stressed and focused a lot on these Shad Garbhakar Bhavas. Shad basically is six, and which are the six procreative factors. Okay, So in order to understand this term procreative, it basically is generative or producing a new life. Okay, so these particular 6 procreative factors are really stressed in Ayurveda. Let's quickly see what are these. First one is Matruja, which is maternal factors. Pitruja is paternal factors. Atmaja, soul factors. Satmyaja, destined factors. Rasaja is nutritional factors. Sattvaja is psyche and mind factors. You can see these little pictures here, which just includes and show how these factors relate to the baby inside the womb. Now, let's quickly understand each of the factors. Okay, so this is my sister and her baby. So the first factor is Matruja Bhava, which is maternal factors. Matru is the mother and Ja is the process of emerging. Okay, so the first and the foremost contributor is the mother. Okay, because without mother, the garbha cannot originate, right? So whatever the baby is going to get, the father will do the job, but after that, whatever the baby is going to get is all just through the mother. So she is the medium, and that's the reason she is the first contributor. So there are some inherited features that the baby directly gets from the mother. So they are clearly mentioned in front. So I'm just going to read it out once for you. That are skin, blood, heart, pancreas, urinary bladder, small intestine, large intestine, rectum, anus, etc. As you can see, most of the vital organs are just from the mother directly. Okay. Um, Moving ahead is the Pitruja Bhava, which is paternal factors. Pitru is father and Ja again is the process of emerging. So the second contributor I would say is the father. Also, the father is the most important contributor because without that, the garbha will not come into existence. Okay, if everything is available but the ingredient is not there, so how can things come into existence? So that's the reason the father is the second important contributor in the entire process. So there are some inherited features that the baby can get from the father are the hair, nails, teeth, blood vessels, ligaments, tendons, etc. Okay, so these are the two important ones which we started with. Moving ahead is the third factor which says Atmaja Bhav, which is soul factor. Okay, Atma is the soul, and again the process of emerging. So what happens when a new life come into existence? The new life is not just about ovum or a sperm, right? So these two they meet, and the third thing that is very important is the soul, is the Atma. Okay, so there are different attributes of this particular soul, which could be, taking birth in a specific species, jotting down or, deciding the lifespan of this baby, control on actions, the unique appearance of this new life that is going to be. So all of these factors are from the Atmaja Bhava. So the fourth factor we are going to see is Satmyaja Bhava, which are destined factors. So these are the one that signifies the inbuilt strength and immunity of the baby. Okay, so it decides the sustaining capacity and the development of the garbha. So some of the Satmyaja attributes are the health of the baby, the vigor, which is basically the strength and the energy. So the non-greedy attitude that the baby would get, serenity, well-being, the entire well-being of the organs. Moving ahead, I have this little video, which my nephew, I think he's the only baby who loves to eat bhakris at this age. I don't know how long that is going to last, but because I'm gonna talk about rasa bhava, which is the nutritional factor. Okay, rasa is nutrition. So these particular factors are influenced by rasa. As we understand what rasa is exactly, so the digested, absorbed, assimilated end product of the ingested food is rasa. Why is rasa dhatu very important? Because it helps in development of the baby, development of the garbha. It is very important for the mother's health. Also, it is very important for formation of milk. Okay, so some of the rasaja, sorry, am I saying rajasa? Okay, rasaja factors are mentioned. They are mentioned in Sanskrit and English as well. So I'm just going to read it out. First one says abhivriddhi, which is growth; utsaha, that is enthusiasm; sharira upachaya, which is physical structure; sthiti is maintenance; bala is strength, and hani is decay. So these are the nutritional factors. I can't get over this video. Okay, moving ahead. The sixth one. The sixth one is the Sattvaja Bhav, which is, psyche or mind factors. Sattva is purity. Um, I really think myself also, I've heard this and I also read it yesterday that, you know, uh, so the thoughts, the words, the actions any pregnant lady is using, they are directly communicated to the baby. Okay, so these they have really intense connection between each other. So whatever the mother's thoughts are, are they are definitely communicated to the baby. And so the Sattvaja Bhava is so important since the beginning, where I read yesterday, if a couple is like, if they are having an intercourse and if their state of mind is happy, they can actually make a happy and a sattvic baby. If their state of mind during the intercourse is frustrated, they are actually going to make a rajasic baby. And if they are really unhappy or sad during the intercourse, the baby can be really tamasic. So I think this factor is one of, I mean, all the factors, but I think this particular one is somewhere in our hands and is the most important, that we can actually apply whatever is given into these factors and try to make happy babies. So the sattva factors is clarity, purity, awareness, memory, bravery, steadiness, and the character of the baby. Okay, so moving ahead. Okay, so I just want to conclude by saying that Shadgarbhakar Bhava plays a very significant role towards the development of the normal fetus. The healthy progeny may also be achieved by following the rules of Ayurveda. So the rules of the Ayurveda say that the health of the mother, father needs to be on point when they are planning a baby, which can be achieved through good code of conduct, practice of a wholesome regimen, which can be, if you discipline yourself, this can definitely be possible. And the most important, like I said, in Sattvaja Bhava is the healthy state of mind, which plays a very, very important role in achieving healthy offspring. And you know till now, what I had this understanding about bhava is from my yoga school. So Shri Yogendra ji, who is the founder of the Yoga Institute, he talks a lot about bhavas. Okay, so he talked about dharma bhav, jnana bhav, vairagya bhav, aishwarya bhav, which is, duty, which is knowledge, which is surrender to God, and which is about, self confidence. So these different types of bhavas, they are inherent, but we have, due to, some vrittis or kleshas in our mind, we have weakened them so much. And that's the reason now we have to work and be on the path of yoga to strengthen and get these attitudes. So the bhavas are the attitudes or the features that are there but are weakened. Okay, so I really think, these Shad Garbhakar Bhava is a real new study for me altogether, and it's a very interesting topic too. And I kind of, after reading, truly believe in it, because I have literally seen my sister. Though we did not have so much of knowledge back then, but I have seen her doing a lot of things that are mentioned in this particular. So one example that I want to give is she's really fond of Dr. Like not doctor, but BK Shivani. So she keeps, listening to her videos. Okay, so day or night, I could just anytime if I go into her room, she would always keep listening to her. And like like Sony, I think she said, because in the 6th month, if you keep doing this, and so the intellect of the child, the memory, everything comes together. And I have literally seen it. My nephew is, I just want to say, because he's my nephew, I know I'm going to say it, but I still want to say that he's not an ordinary kid. My sister and my, Jijaji, they have actually made a golden baby by sort of following all this. So yes,